Sitting behind me is my 2008 ST150. Now in today's review we're going to be going over how it is to drive and what it's like to own, and whether it still stands up to today's standards of sports car in 2019.
First we'll touch on what's inside the cab. Now we get the ST seats, which are really comfortable to be honest, and the ST steering wheel, which is just a little bit different from the usual one, as it's got ST at the bottom. That's basically it from that. We've got a Sony 6 CD changer system in the car with all Sony speakers. It's relatively good. I'd say a bit higher than about 25 when you're listening to like a Clubland CD or something. It's a bit to be desired, because it starts distorting it and stuff. So around 20 it's probably about the highest you can go. We've got also a blue dashboard. Now I've took the liberty of changing the vent surrounds from the normal boring silver to white, because that's the colour code that I want to go for the whole of the rest of the car. Now we've got the ST clocks, which are slightly different to the usual ones, because the usual ones are green and orange, whereas mine are green and red. Again, I don't like that. I did briefly touch on this in my 5 things I don't like about my Fiesta ST video, and that is because I prefer either white and red or blue and red like the Volkswagen Golfs. So I feel like that's a little bit of a better design that they needed to have thought about. Again, the ST seats, a design flaw that they came with was that the cables snap, or the handles snap, was also touched on in my 5 things I don't like about my Fiesta ST video. So everything else in the cab is pretty basic. We just have the normal AC, obviously heated front windscreen, heated back windscreen, electric mirrors, all the normal stuff that you get from a car about this age. We've got, not on the steering wheel, but right behind the steering wheel we have the radio buttons to go up and down volume and check the mode and stuff. So going out of the cab, we've got to make it a little bit more stylish, for me personally, I put on the TRC splitter kit, which is the back canards, back canards, front splitter and side pieces. Now this makes it just look a bit more of a stanced, more evil kind of look to the car. Now as I mentioned, the car's called ST150 for a reason. Now, the reason is it comes with 150 brake standard. The torque is about, I think about 198 or something. It's not very high in torque, but it does go some. Now in the rain it's not as good because it doesn't come with traction control. It does come with ABS, it doesn't come with traction control. And another thing about the interior, it's only got 2 airbags, one in the steering wheel and one in the passenger side. Now, again with the car's engine, it's the 2-litre Duratec ST engine, obviously 150 brake, and it also drinks fuel. And I don't mean just sips it, I mean drinks it. So if you're miles a gallon conscious but you want a speedy car and stuff, I don't see why you're looking at miles to gallon in the first place, but this on average does about 30. On a motorway at 50 you can get about 48. Anything above obviously starts bringing it down again. The highest I've ever had this on is 51. Again, it's not the best, but obviously because it's a 2 litre and stuff on the motorway, you can achieve them kind of figures going at a relatively steady pace. Now, round corners, I brought the car onto this road because I can show you how I can throw it round corners and there's little to no body roll. Now, it literally does go round corners like it's on rails. And everyone that I've ever heard that's had one of these cars has always said about the suspension and the handling is absolutely on point. Now, Ford obviously got this right, but they didn't get the engine quite right, because they could have put a turbo or something on it to squeeze a little bit better power out of it, because it is a little bit lackluster in the power department, but it's relatively swift. Now, as I say, with the handling stuff, if you push on the car from the outside, it very rarely rocks at all. It's so stiff, but the seats are very complimenting, whereas you do feel every bump, but you don't feel it like smashing your spine to bits like when you're lower cars and stuff. Now this suspension hasn't been lowered or anything. It will be lowered at some point. I'll probably put it on IVAC suspension, lowering springs or Bilstein coilovers. The tyre sizes are 215 by 35 by R17. That is the wheels that it comes with and the tyres that it comes with. I have had before where I hit a pothole, it did bulge at the side of it, so that is one thing to consider. You've got to avoid potholes like the plague. The exhaust note is really good. Eventually I'll probably swap it to either D-back box it or from the cat back, because I can't really be bothered with taking the cat out and getting fines and all that. It's got a very Japanese raspy kind of sound to it. I put this down to the Duratec being a Mazda derivative engine, so that's probably why it kind of sounds raspy and Japanese-ish, kind of like the raspy noise that you get from an MX-5 2 litre. It's probably a similar engine, to be fair. So that comes with it, and that's very good. The general driving is extremely nice, very comfortable. The heaters work excellent, so for me it's pretty good. Obviously the aircon's very good as well. On a long journey you can do decent miles, but on short journeys it will again drink your fuel. So is this car a good buy if you want a cheap, reliable, sporty car? Now, they do come a little bit with some reliability issues. I've had reliability issues recently with the fuel pump going wrong, and I've had to have it done about 3 times, which you would have heard of in the ST is back video, which is, you know, something that you're gonna get from a second-hand performance car. Now, this was the original Ford that Ford brought back to be one of the fast Fords, and obviously they've built on their reputation ever since. Now, if you want a car that's cheap, relatively reliable, not too good on fuel, but fast, nippy, and great round corners and great round treks, then this is definitely the car for you. If you're MPG conscious and you don't want something this quick and unreliable to a point, then this definitely isn't the car for you. So thanks for watching, guys. Please like, comment and subscribe, and hit that bell notification underneath and press the all and not personalised, because personalised only sends you a couple of my videos. If you press on all to get all of the videos sent to you as soon as I upload them. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.